Hey guys, welcome back or welcome to my channel. I've been wanting to film this video for quite a while now. I love Makeup Geek eyeshadows, Makeup Geek products. I think they're extremely affordable. I think they are awesome. So I decided to sit down and swatch all of my shadows for you guys, tell you how I like to use them, give you close-ups, which ones I think are amazing, which ones I think you can probably pass on. You know, I don't have all of them, obviously. These are my foiled shadows and these are my regular shadows. I have 9 out of the 20 foiled eyeshadows and I have no idea how many regular shadows she has. So let's dive in. We'll start with the foiled eyeshadows first. These are the newest to me. I just got these fairly recently. First of all, can we talk about the Z palette that I found on Amazon for them? Like, can you die? How perfect is this for foiled shadows? I had to pick this up as soon as I saw it. Again, I found it on Amazon. If I can find it, I will link it below. I also saw that they had like the mini Z palettes, but I opted for the big guy because I know that I will fill him up very soon. So basically, foiled shadows have more oils in them than regular shadows, making them extremely shiny, I guess is the word. I think they're incredible. Like, after using these, you don't want to put anything else on your lid because everything looks so dull compared to foiled eyeshadows. Nothing compares to these. They are absolutely amazing. So first up, I have the shade Flamethrower, which is a great kind of dark coppery gold shade. This is perfect for all over the lid, smoky eye. Absolutely gorgeous. Next up, I have Grandstand, which is another one of my favorites. Great for all over the lid, everyday type of shade. It's kind of a brownish, goldish, nudish color. It is gorgeous and absolutely perfect. Next up, we have in the Spotlight, which is another one of my favorites. Again, this is great for every day, all over the lid. You cannot go wrong with this shade. It is a great kind of peachy, light pinky shade. Next up is Jester, which is a great kind of greenish, goldish shade, perfect for a green smoky eye. I absolutely love this color. I'm planning on doing a tutorial with this guy very, very soon. Next up, we have Pegasus, which is another one of my favorite. It is a great kind of blue, light blue, shimmery shade. Great for this time of year. This is just reminds me of summer and spring and pools, and I think it is absolutely gorgeous and really unique. Next up, we have High Wire, and this is actually what is all over my lid today, and it is a great kind of silvery shade. I think it's perfect for this look I have going on here, and I absolutely love it. Next up is Starry Eyed. This is really similar to In the Spotlight, but a little bit more pinky, a little bit more champagne-y. This is absolutely perfect for every day, all over the lid. I think it is absolutely gorgeous. Definitely one of my favorites. Next one is Magic Act, and this is your great classic type of gold shade. This again is beautiful for all over the lid. It's just a really perfect gold. And last but not least, I have Masquerade, and this again is one of my favorites. This is what I have on my lower lash line today, Smoked Out. I love this color so much. In the pan, it looks very, very purple, but when you swatch it, you kind of get flecks of pink, and it's very, very, very beautiful. Almost kind of duochrome-y, but with that great foiled finish. So that is all of my foiled eyeshadows. Again, I have 9 of them. I will link all the shades that I showed you down below. I love every single one of these. I think every single one of these is needed in your life. These do retail for $9 a piece, so they are extremely expensive, but I think they are totally worth it. I was gonna say if I could live without one, I would try and pick one out, but honestly, like, I can't live without any of these. I can think of a perfect look, perfect occasion for every single one of these. I think they're so different and so unique and just absolutely beautiful. All right, next up we will go through her regular eyeshadows, which again are phenomenal. They are absolutely perfect in every way. Creamy, blendable, very, very pigmented. These retail for $6 a piece. So let's just go through. First up is one of my favorites. I almost hit pan on it. This is Shimma Shimma. This is just a great highlighty shade. I use this to highlight my face. I use it for all over my lid. I use it for my brow bone, my inner corner. So versatile, has so many uses. It's just perfection. Next up is Creme Brule. This is another one of my favorites. I think this is totally necessary in everyone's makeup geek collection. This is just your perfect matte light brown, great transition shade. It's slightly too dark for me to use as a transition shade. I do sometimes, but it's almost too dark for me. I'll show you what my favorite is for a transition shade in a second, but nonetheless, this is a gorgeous color. I think it is so versatile, and I think you definitely need it in your collection. This is the shade that I mostly use as a transition shade. This is Peach Smoothie. This is another one that I have almost hit pan on. It has a huge dip in it. I love using this to set my eye primer. I use this as a transition shade. I think it's the perfect base for any makeup look. It's just a great light peachy brownish color, perfect for every makeup look. It's just a great starter shade. Another one that I think is totally necessary to have in your collection is Chickadee. This is kind of a scary shade. When you first look at this, you're like, what the hell am I gonna do with this? But in any warm look, this just adds so much. It's just so beautiful, just really lightly in the crease. I mean, you can take this and go way too far very, very quickly, but with a light hand, this is absolutely gorgeous. I think it's really, really pretty paired with this next shade, which is Cosmopolitan, which is a great kind of shimmery, peachy, pinky shade. I love pairing this with Chickadee. I will put Chickadee lightly in the crease along with some other, you know, transition shades, Creme Brule, and some other browns that I'll show you in a minute. And then Cosmopolitan all over the lid, and it is absolutely gorgeous. I actually filmed, I think, a look where I used both of these a couple weeks ago. I will link it down below, but yes, both of these are completely necessary in your collection. Next up is Glamorous. This is a beautiful gold type shade. I do think this is pretty. I don't normally reach for this one too often. I think I've used it a couple times. I could probably live without this one though, but if you're really into golds, then I would probably suggest picking this up. It's just a great everyday gold. Next up is Pretentious, and this shadow I absolutely love. I've used this many, many times. It is a great shimmery kind of khaki, brownish, greenish. I don't even know how to describe it. It is just stunning. It is so unique. I haven't seen any other shade like this. I think this is totally necessary. I think it's absolutely gorgeous all over the lid, and I love to pair it with this next shade, which is Frappe, which is a great kind of khaki, camel-y, brownish greenish shade. It is a matte, and it is just so beautiful blended out in the crease with Pretentious all over the lid. I do this look quite often, and I think it is absolutely gorgeous. Both of these I think are complete necessaries in your collection. Next up is Frappe, and this is a great everyday matte kind of light brown. This I think is totally necessary. I do not think you can have too many of these light brown type of transition matte crease shades. I use these more than anything in the world, and I love this shade. It is so pretty. Again, it's called Frappe, and it's a matte and is beautiful. Next up is Cocoa Bear. This is another one that I don't think you can have enough of these colors in your collection. This is just a great matte dark brown. It's perfect for deepening the outer V, deepening the crease, smoking out the lower lash line. There's so many uses for Cocoa Bear, and it is absolutely gorgeous. It almost has kind of a reddish tint to it. Really unique, really, really pretty. Next up is Latte, which is kind of a cool toned brown. This one reminds me quite a bit of Frappe, but you can see it is a lot more lighter and cool toned. These I think pair really nicely together if you want to kind of mix the two worlds. I think these are both absolutely gorgeous. It's totally necessary in your collection. Next up is Taupe Notch. Super clever name, really pretty shade. I do not reach for this one too much. I could probably honestly live without this one. It's a great kind of taupey, purpley shade. I don't know. I don't grab for this too often. It is really pretty nonetheless if you're really into these kind of cool tone taupey shades, but for me this isn't not a must-have. Next up is Prom Night. I actually did a prom tutorial using this all over the lid. I will link that below if you're interested, but it is a great kind of cool toned silvery purple shade. This is absolutely gorgeous. I think it's really unique. Has a really fun shift to it, kind of purpley, kind of silvery. So I love this shade. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Next up is Moondust, and this one is one that I don't too often reach for. This is one I could probably live without. I don't think it's necessary to have in my personal collection. I could live without it. It's kind of a brownish, taupey-ish, I don't really know how to describe it. It is really pretty. It's just not something that I grab for too often. Next up is Last Dance, and this is a great, beautiful kind of purpley shade. I think this is totally necessary if you are into purples. I think this is absolutely gorgeous all over the lid. This is really, really pretty for a cranberry eye, a purple eye, very versatile. I love this. The finish on this is just so beautiful. Next up is Bitten, and I think this is one that is totally something you need in your collection. It is beautiful. It is a matte cranberry shade, absolutely gorgeous. I think it pairs really, really well with Last Dance. That last color I showed you, Last Dance all over the lid, and then smoked out with Bitten. Absolutely gorgeous colors. I think these are totally necessary in your collection. Next up is Drama Queen. This is another really deep, fun purple. I used this in that same prom tutorial that I used Prom Night in. I used Prom Night all over the lid, and then I smoked out my lower lash line and the outer V with Drama Queen, and I think it turned out so beautiful. If you are really into purples, I think this is definitely necessary. It has kind of gold glitters in it, and I just think it is absolutely beautiful. Next up is Burlesque. This is another kind of reddish purple shade, absolutely gorgeous. It is a little bit more cranberry-ish than Last Dance, but they are very similar. I do not think you need both. I think you could live with one or the other, but they are both gorgeous shades. Next up we have Country Girl. I want to use this more. I don't know why I don't. Every time I like swatch it and play with it, I'm like, I need to start using that, but I just never ever grab for this shade. But I think it's really unique. I think it's really, really pretty. It's kind of a brownish, reddish shade. It has some gold glitters in it. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I need to use this more. I'm bummed that I don't, but it's absolutely gorgeous. One day I will use this more. All right, and last up in the kind of pinky purpley family, we have Cupcake, which is a great matte pink. I use this really often when I'm working with those pinks and kind of mauve-y shades. It's really, really great in the crease. I also used it with that look when I was talking about, I took Cosmopolitan and Chickadee. I used these colors together, and it was just a really pretty fun spring look. I think they go really nicely together. Next up, a couple of greens. I have Dirty Martini, which is a great matte green. I love green shadows. I have green eyes, and I think that they complement each other very, very nicely. So if you're into greens, definitely think you need this in your life. It is a perfect olivey matte green shade. Next up is Envy, which is a great deep sparkly foresty color. I think this is really, really pretty, smoked out the lower lash line or the outer V, any green look you're going for. I think this adds so much, and if you're into greens, I think you totally need this in your collection. And last but not least, I'm Peachless. This is one of her duochromes, and I am not a fan of this. I don't know if it's just this one or all her duochromes are not that great, but I'm just not a fan of this. I think it's not that pigmented. Just not as impressed with her duochromes as I am with her foiled and her regular eyeshadows. Alright guys, well that wraps up this video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you guys have any Makeup Geek shadows that I don't have that I absolutely need. I would love to hear your suggestions. And don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.